Welcome back to my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala. We are doing chapter number 3 Atoms and Molecules 9 Cbse. Let's see today's section. Let us understand what is an ion. A compound made up of metal and non-metal contains a charged species. The charged species are known as the ions. Here you will see the example of sodium chloride. Okay, you'll see that sodium is a metal, right? And chloride is a non-metal. Okay, and they are together, right, to make a compound. Ions may consist of a single charge atoms or a group of atoms that have a net charge on them. An ion can be negatively or a positively charged. A negatively charged ion is called as anion, and a positively charged ion is called a cation, right? If you take an example of sodium chloride, you'll see a cation and anion is there. Okay, here sodium is having a positive charge and chloride is having a negative charge. Group of atoms carrying a charge is known as a polyatomic ion. Now let us write down a chemical formula. How to write down a chemical formula? A chemical formula of a compound is a symbolic representation of the composition NaCl. The chemical formula of different compounds can be written very easily. We can write down the chemical formulas very easily. What we need to know? For this, we need to learn the symbols and combining capacity of the elements. Magnesium, Mg, aluminium, Al, chloride, Cl. Okay, so we should know the symbols and we should also know the combining capacity, right? Okay, of them. The combining power of an element is known as its valencies, right? So the combining capacity. So valency is very important term for us. Why valency is important? Because valency is used to find out how the atoms of an element will combine with the atoms of another element to form a chemical. Now, the rules that you have to follow while writing a chemical formula. The first rule says that the valences or charges on the ion must be balanced. Okay, the charges must be balanced. Second rule says that when a compound consists of a metal and non-metal, the name of the symbol of the metal is written first. Here you see metal is written Na is written. Sodium is a metal written first. That is on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we write the non-metal. Right. So that's the reason oxygen, chlorine, sulfur, which are non-metal, they are written on the right hand side. Sodium, calcium, copper, right? They are written on the right hand side. The third thing what we need to remember, in a compound formed with a polyatomic ion, the number of ions present in the compound is indicated by enclosing a formula of an ion in a bracket and writing the number of ions outside the bracket. Okay, so hydroxide ion is there, which is made of oxygen and hydrogen, right? So what we need to write down, the number has to be written outside. Okay, for example, magnesium hydroxide, what we see polyatomic ion, right? What we see here is it's more than one, all right? So what we need to write down, we need to write down here two. For sodium hydroxide, what we see, the polyatomic ion is one. So we are not writing a bracket here. Okay, more than one, we need to write down a bracket. While writing the chemical formula for the compound, we write the constituent elements and their valencies, and then we must cross over the valencies. Let us take an example of hydrogen chloride. We write the symbol hydrogen and chlorine here, that is the chloride, and then we write the valencies. Okay, that is one for hydrogen and one for chlorine. Then you see that we get the crossover has been done and we get HCl. Same way hydrogen sulfide, the valences we write down 1 and 2 respectively. And then we cross over and we get H2S. Let's see for formula for magnesium chloride, how to write down the formula for magnesium chloride. Okay. Now what we see here in this is that for magnesium chloride, we write the symbols, particular symbols, that is the magnesium, first followed by the symbol of anion, that is the uh, that is the chloride. Okay, that we write down. Okay, then what we do? The charges are crisscrossed. See here, the charges. Magnesium is 2 plus and chloride is 1 minus. So we crisscross these charges and we get as magnesium chloride. Okay. What we see in magnesium chloride, we have got two chloride ions are there. Okay, two chloride ions for each magnesium ion. So two chloride ions are required for each magnesium ion. The positive and negative charges are balanced each other and the overall structures becomes neutral. The structure is neutral. What we need to note? We need to note that the charges on the ions are not indicated. Right? We need not indicate the charges on the ions. Right? Let us take example of aluminium oxide. Write down the symbol, see aluminium, and then this is the oxide, what we have written. Write down their charges is 3 plus and 2 minus, crisscross them. Okay, so this 3 will go here down, this 2 will go here down, and what we get is Al2O3. Let us talk about calcium oxide. See here, we have written the symbols, right? Calcium and oxide here. Here the 2 plus charge is there for calcium, 2 minus for oxygen. So what we getting is Ca2O2. Now these two are common. So we can write calcium oxide like this. Let's take some more examples. Okay, sodium nitrate, right? Okay, in sodium nitrate, what you see, we need to write down the symbols. We write down the symbols here like this. Charges we write down 1 plus and 1 minus. So we get the formula like this. Calcium hydroxide. We write down the symbols. Okay. Hydroxide OH. We write down the charges. Calcium plus 2 and 1 minus. So what is happening? Crisscross is happening. Okay. So the 2 will go here down. Right. So it is the 2 is coming here. Right. Is this right? No. Right. What we need to do? We need to write a bracket, right? A bracket has to be done. Okay, a bracket has to be done. We use the brackets when we have two or more same ions in the formula. Here the bracket around OH minus with a subscript 2 indicates that two hydroxyl groups join to one calcium atom, right? Okay, in other words, there are two atoms of oxygen and hydrogen each in calcium hydroxide. So this we need to remember, right? Okay. Now let's take few more examples. Sodium carbonate. Okay. Sodium, write down the symbol with their charges. Okay, crisscross them and you'll get Na2CO3. Let's see ammonium sulfate, ammonium NH4, SO4 minus, write down the charges 1 plus and 2 minus, crisscross them, right? Crisscross them, then what will happen is there, see this 2 is coming here, right? The 2 is coming here means what it indicates then, okay, what we'll write down 2 is coming here and this is ion itself, okay? This is ion itself. Then what will happen? See here, the 2 will come outside the bracket, right? The 2 will come outside the bracket. And here there is no need to write a bracket. Okay. Why? Because a single SO4 is there, right? Okay. So like this. Sodium oxide, write down here the charges 1 plus and 2 minus, and it's here Na2O will come. Aluminium chloride 3 plus and 1 minus is there. So we'll get crossover, we'll get AlCl3 as such. Then we have magnesium hydroxide. Okay, magnesium hydroxide. Earlier also we have seen 2 plus and 1 minus. Yes, crossover and we get MgOH. Bracket we get like this 2 we need to write down outside. So student, you need to practice this on a regular basis so that it will be very easy for you to write down the compounds. Writing compounds is a very important part so that in the coming sessions you will be writing the reactions with the help of this compounds. I'm sure you have understood today's concept of writing compounds and ions. Please like and subscribe my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala.